Hey guys, it's Big Bear again. Been a long time since I got a report in. I recently moved to Texas, so it's been a while getting my feet on the ground in order to be able to play a game. So yeah, with no further ado, here we go. This is a game against Dwarves with my Tomb Kings, 2,500 points, victory points. Here's a picture of the battlefield here. That's a sand type theme for my Tomb Kings, which my opponent was nice enough to set up for me before I got there. So, a hill, a big blocking piece left there. That very middle piece is +1 to wound, and there's a couple of forests and other hills. So, here's his right side of battle line. He's got a Thane in here. This is his hammers with a Dwarf Lord and a Rune Lord in there. That has a bunch of anti-magic stuff. A Grudge Thrower all the way upgraded, a cannon. Then he has a unit of warriors. 40 of them with full command other than champion, organ gun, a flaming cannon, and then he has another unit of 40 warriors on his right hand side. So I played this guy before. He's a really good player. So it's good to get a rematch in. He beat me the first time, which I unfortunately didn't do a report on. I just didn't have my camera on me, so you guys get to see the rematch here. But he did beat me the first time pretty soundly, so hopefully I can get him. On my right hand side here, there's a chariot with a 3-man chariot unit with a banner and +1 movement, 6 Ushapti with a musician. And then behind my blocking piece of terrain there, I have my casket, so it can't get cannoned to death. 74-man block of warriors with my prince in there with a 6-up save versus war machines. 40 tomb guard with hand weapon shield and razor standard, and a prince in there with a 4-up ward once per game. And then a large archer, a 50-man archer block. You'll see me fill that unit in later. Level 4 power scroll, and 3 carrion and a hero titan. So other than that, I have a group of 2 scorpions that will be coming in via the sands, and then I have 5 horse archers that scout up on the right hand side of my battle line. So I give him first turn, or I think he takes it either way. He shoots my horse archers and kills 3 with the organ gun. I didn't even think about that, so I got lucky. Only 3 died. And but to get his luck back, he shoots a cannon, 1-shots my 5-wound hero titan, and then he shoots the other side and kills 2 Ushapti. So yeah, that really sucked. I hate being shot by cannons with my big monsters, but it's price to pay for them being pretty good in this edition. My turn to go ahead and charge his cannon. I'm not expecting to kill it, but just want to slow it down from shooting my Ushapti or my chariots. And I move up my chariots on the right side along with the Ushapti. And then my casket moves over, it can get line of sight, and the rest of my army just kind of shuffles up. And then on my left hand side, I have the archers move deeper into the forest, and then I have the carrion move up to try to threaten one of the other war machines. Alright, so it's to his turn. With my magic, I'm not saying much about it, but I'm just kind of healing guys, casting every spell I can on him to get him up. But charges his Thane out to kill my horse archers to make sure I don't kill his cannon or stay there all game with it. And then he shoots a grudge throw around and kills about 10 of my tomb guard. And then he yeah, that's pretty much all he did. He just shot a ton of my tomb guard and tried to kill some Ushapti with this. But my Ushapti move up, my chariots move up, my center line just moves up, and I'm trying to swing around this thing. I didn't think I could move through it. No way I could or not, but better safe than sorry. And then my archers move up, and then my carrion move up to be able to try to get at a war machine next turn, or bait him into charging me. That way I can get him in combat next turn. But what happens here in my magic phase is, I heal some guys, he lets it go. He ends up having 1 dice left, I have 2, I throw it at the casket, it goes off. He doesn't think it's a big deal, because dwarves have extremely high leadership, and his BSB's right there. He ends up failing the leadership on his unit that I hit with it, the one on the far right, kills like 2 guys. That in turn bounces to his Thane that he had charged out of his unit. It kills that guy even with a reroll. It does 2 wounds and kills him. It bounces to the cannon that the horse archers were at, kills it. Bounces through the unit in the middle. They live, and bounces to the unit on the other cannon, kills it. and then it bounces to the other unit and doesn't do anything. But what happens is that middle unit breaks from both those two units being destroyed, so they break off the table, which was huge. My opponent was like, "Man, I just should have scrolled it." It was so bad. So yeah, the rest of the game I just was in such shock. But anyway, so here he moves up his hammers to try to get some points. Now he doesn't want to play defensive anymore. He needs to get to me. So he comes at me there, and then he moves up his other warriors. He could have probably tried to charge, but I think it was like a 12-inch, so that would have been a 9. He could have failed, so he just took the safe 6 move. And then he shoots his organ gun, which is barely in range of my chariots, and blows 2 of them away and puts a wound on one of them, which, I was, I think, 2 inches within, so that stunk. And then yeah, it goes to my turn. So, the beginning of my turn, my last turn, my 2 scorpions that came in on the flanks and such, and I decided to charge this one into his left flank just to hold him up so I can do a swift reform and get up there in horde formation so I can get around that thing to fight him next turn. And their scorpions are really good at hitting flanks and holding people up for a turn or two due to their high strength and toughness. But yeah, so I just kind of shuffle stuff up here. I do the magic spell that lets me march my whole army, so that kind of gets my guys in really good position for next turn. And then yeah, it goes to his turn again. So he charges his dwarves in there at my large skeleton unit. I think he probably should have went for the Ushabti, but he was thinking get that charge in there, kill a lot of dudes. He could deal with the Ushabti killing a couple because he's stubborn, and he just want to wear that down and try to kill my care in there. So yeah, on the other side there, he hits with the grudge thrower again on my tomb guard and kills about 7 or 8 of them. 8 or 9, it looks like, actually, a lot of them. That thing was on fire with, both games that I played. So, for the rest of my turn there, the Scorpion does like 2 or 3 wounds. He ends up winning by 1. He does 1 wound, I think. He wins by 1, and then, my Scorpion just has 1 left. So that's good. That's going to hold him up for my turn to where I can get up there. So then my turn, I end up charging his flank and his rear with that chariot that he had hurt really bad. It was kind of hanging back, and now that I got a rear charge, I need those impact hits to try to kill as many of these guys as I can. So I slam him in there. If you know, I've lost about 18, 20 guys from that big unit. And I bring my carrion into his war machine, his grudge thrower back there. And I think I killed 2 wounds, and then he does 1 to me in return. So they're going to keep fighting it out over there. And then this is after combat. I do a ton of wounds to him. He kills a couple of my guys. Wounds 1 Ushabti, but due to that +1 to wound, I am just tearing him up. And then I reform here 5 wide, which I didn't have a picture of, and I wait for him to charge me because I want +1 to wound against him. So he gets in there, and after combat, it's just a slobber fest. I destroy the whole unit with my tomb guard. They break. I run them down. Pretty much game over. We just end up stopping there. On the far right side there, at the end of his turn, you notice that there's a lot more guys dead. So that unit's going to get evaporated here pretty quick if we would have kept going. It was a lot of fun. My opponent was great to play. Felt horrible for the way things happened, but I learned a lot of stuff. With that being said, the casket is something you have to respect. I mean, yeah, it got a hit compared to the old rules, but getting those power dice help a lot for just your whole magic phase if you can keep it hidden, and bouncing around like that, even high leadership, guys will die, and it can cause stuff like that. My large unit of skeletons was just awesome. I don't know why I never thought about taking a huge unit of them before. They're so cheap, 4 points a guy. Weapon skill 5, they'll just hold people up all day long. Anytime you're challenging, you just go to the back, still get your weapon skill bonus, and yeah. So other than that, always make people roll things. Like, some people say, oh, I have fear, your dwarves with the BSB, oh, I'm not going to make you roll it. Well, this is a pure example of that. I made his whole army roll his leadership re-rollable, and eventually his luck ran out when he hit the when he hit his BSB, and that ended up changing the whole game. I mean, that guy dying killed the cannons because they couldn't reroll, and then those deaths of the cannons provoked his units to break off the table. So always make people roll their fear, even if it seems improbable. Always make them roll the casket. Don't ever think it won't happen. And the last thing, there's great players everywhere. A lot of people, don't ever talk about the big value to this game. It's fun. It's good having a good time with people. The coolest part about it is that no matter where you go, you can meet some cool friends to hang out with, and it makes for good conversation and meeting good people. So this guy's a good guy to play against. A lot of these players down here are a lot of fun, have a lot of skill. So yeah, I want you guys to keep that in mind, and I hope you enjoyed the battle. So have another one coming here for you soon.